Hello everyone. In this session, we'll discuss how to update the config of a config map. In the previous session, we discussed how to create config map, and there are various ways to have the configuration passed to your application. Now, if you want to update the configuration in the config map, there are you can update it without restarting your application or restarting any other component. So what we'll do is we will update the configuration using kubectl command, but there are other ways also to update. You can update in the YAML file also. So what we'll do is we'll create a config map, or we will reuse it. We'll see. We'll create a pod which is using the above config map. We'll validate the config map. How will we validate? For example, we'll check the values of the config map, where they are getting reflected in the pod or not. Then we'll update the config map using kubectl, and then we'll revalidate that updated value is being reflected inside the pod. So this is the config map which I'm using. Let me see if I have already created this. So if it's created, I will delete it. So kubectl get config map. I will get all the config maps. Now this config map I have not created to be updated config, so I can create now. So there is a YAML file to be updated config. So let's see that YAML file. So in this YAML file, all I'm doing is creating a config map with this name, and this config map has these key value pairs. So first is DB URL key, and this is the value. Second is another system URL. This is the value. So I'll be creating this config map, and what I'll be doing is let me open IntelliJ also on the side, so that I can show you the code where it is getting used. But while that is opening, let me come back here. So let me create this first. kubectl create -f, then to be updated config. So now it got created, and I can see that it appearing here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 key value pairs. It's showing that here also. So now what we are going to do is, next step, we're going to create a pod which uses above config map, and this pod is cat config map entries. So let's see that cat config map entries as one file, conf file, as file in one volume, as file in one volume, then update test. So let's see this. So this is a pod, and this is the name of the pod, and it is creating a volume, and it is mounting this volume. So this volume with my config name is created, which is this volume has config map. So you will see the config map entries, and you would have seen in the previous session we have done this already. And I'm using this config map which we just created, and this volume is getting mounted in this directory under etc my config dir1. So let's see that. Let's create that. Hopefully we do not have a pod with this name. So let's see kubectl delete pod. If it is there, it will delete. It was there. So now I am going to create this pod. kubectl create -f. So this pod got created. So I will see the existing pods, get pods. So this is a pod config map as file. This is what I created. Now I can log in inside the pod. So I think in this example, I'm running some command from I am logging in actually, and let's see what is inside this. So remember, we are mounting the volume from the config map in this folder. So let's see what is there inside that folder. kubectl exec-it, then this -f1 bash. So after -f1, whatever you're giving is the command to the operating system. So we'll go inside etc and my config dir one. So we can do ls-l here. Let's see. So you can see. So these are the things which it created: output directory, max, max connections, and this is what we have given. Remember DB URL, the system URL, and this is what we had given here: DB URL, the system URL, debug value, max connections, and you can see debug value, max connections. Then what else was there? Output directory, Kafka topic name, output directory, and Kafka topic name. Let's see, one of these values. I think I will be updating the DB URL, and we can see that cat DB, sorry, etc my config dir1 DB URL. This is the value from config file URL underscore initial, because this is what we had given from config file URL underscore initial, this one. So this is the same value. You can check value for others. Let's say, I want to check the value of max connection and output directory. Remember, this max connection is 0, output directory is my output directory from file initial. So let's say max connections 0. You see 0. There's no new line character, that's why it's coming in the same line. And what was the other one? Other one was, we wanted to check was output dir. Output dir, and this is the name, my output dir from file underscore initial. You can check this, you can run this command. Let's see if this works. This works. ls/etc/my config dir1. Sorry, what did I do? ls/etc/my config dir1, and we don't have to make it interactive anymore because we want to see the output here only. And this is what it will give you without logging in, without going into that machine from outside only. You can tell this command, operating system command. And if I want to check something, I can say cat then /db underscore URL. It will show up with this value. Okay, now let's edit that. Now we'll be using kubectl command, and this is the command kubectl edit the config map. This is the object, and this is the this is the config map. This is the object name, which is config map, and this is the config map object which will be updating. So let's see, kubectl edit config map, and I can copy the name from above, this one, and update. Now I can edit anything I want. So so I will change this from initial to underscore changed. You can change as many values as you can, but I'll be changing only one. The rest you can try yourself, and let me know in the comment section how did that work. Were you able to change it or not? So I'll save it. This is normal VI editor. Save this. Now once I have changed this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to validate this. Correct? How do you validate? So you can use describe. So let's see that. kubectl describe, and instead of describing any pod, I will describe same thing. Sorry, see, I forgot. Control A, config map. Oh, I'm forgetting things. Config C. Okay. DB URL is, oh, what did I change? Did I change? Because this seems to be changed. Instead of checking DB URL, I changed from config file URL. Let's see that. I thought I changed the DB URL. Everything else is same. From config file URL changed, and everything is initial. Let's see. This is the value of DB URL from config file URL change. My mistake. So now we want to see whether it has been reflected in the volume or not. So let's see. Yes. So I just issue the command cat, and you can see the value is changed. We did not restart anything. We did not restart the application. We did not do anything else. We just edited the config map using the kubectl, and it was automatically getting reflected in the volume, which application might be referring for the configuration. So this is how you change the existing config in the config map. These are the Kubernetes documentation. You can go through in detail. It has a lot more information than I have described here. Please go through that. Now we'll be starting with the secrets. So there are scenarios in the application where you have to use credentials, which is the passwords, for example, or private certificates, which should not be stored in the plain text or should not be known to anyone else. For that, Kubernetes provides a secret object, which is a separate object. It is very much similar to config map, but you will see some differences. When you see the config map, you see the value appearing. When you describe a config map, you see the value appearing as is. But in the secret, it will not show the value in the plain text format. So like in config map, you can pass the value as environment variables or files in volume, like we did in config map. Secrets are passed to only those nodes which need them. And on such nodes also, secrets are stored in the memory only. These secrets are, Kubernetes does not write those secrets anywhere on the file or anywhere else. So it will be stored only in the memory, and it will be sent only to those nodes which have the ports running, which needs those secrets. So we can see, let's see the existing secrets. kubectl get secrets. So the one secret which is already running. Now, what is this secret? It represents a token. Now, this is used between, remember the Kubernetes architecture. You had a control plane, which are more or less, masters, nodes, and you have the worker nodes, which were various nodes in the cluster. Now, these nodes need to interact with the, API server in the master node. For that, there is to be communication needed. Now, how do you communicate? Generally, any API on the production environment should be protected. So likewise, API server APIs are also protected, and you need a token to communicate. So nodes also need token to communicate to the API server. So this token is already created beforehand, so that it is created by Kubernetes, so that nodes can talk to the API server on the control plane. You can read more about this. This is a nice article about explaining this. So I Google searched it and found this out. So you can read more about this, how the, what you need to know about securing API with mutual certificates between, so this is the API to mutual certificates, and same concept is used between the API server and the nodes. You can describe this. You can describe the secret, and this is the name. Now I can describe the secret also. So this is the FII. This secret already exists, and it has this data CACRT and namespace and token and everything. Now we'll be creating the secret. We'll be, before we create the secret, let's understand, what are the type of secrets we can create. So you can issue the command kubectl create secret -help. Let me create that here also. kubectl create secret -help. And you can see, right, there are 3 types of secrets available commands I can do. So same thing here. I can create Docker registry secrets. It creates a secret for use with the Docker registry. A generic secret, create a secret from the local file directory or literal value. TLS, create TLS secret. TLS is, like SSL, right? So we'll be using the generic secret and that too from little value to explain the concepts, but you can use any of these three secrets. You can create any of these three secrets. Now, what I've done is here you can create a generic secret. So I'll be creating generic secret, and I use this command kubectl create secret generic --- help. It is very nice documentation. It gives you various options, various type of generics, various ways of creating the generic secret. And you can also get the same documentation by issuing this command. I'll just read it out loud. So it creates a secret based upon a file directory or specified little value. A single secret may package one or more key value pair. Like ConfigMap, you have one ConfigMap, many one or many key value pairs could be there. Same is the case with secret. Remember, secret you can create based on a file directory or from a literal also. When creating a secret based upon a file, the key will be default to the base name of the file, and the value will default to the file content. It's obvious. If the base name is an invalid key or you wish to choose your own, you may specify an alternate key. When creating a secret based on a directory, each file whose base name is a valid key in the directory will be packaged into the secret. Any directory entries except regular files are ignored. If you have subdirectories or things like this, those will be ignored. Only the files inside the directory will be packaged into secret. And you can try this out. And these are the commands. You can this is generic secret you are creating. This is the name of the secret, which is sort of a map. It will have many key values pair from this you're creating from a file. So the content of the file, the file name will become the key and the content will become the value. You can create the generic secret from file, and this is the file, and you can. So here is what he's trying to show is that because secret can contain multiple key value pairs, first key value pair is coming from this file, second key value pair is coming from this file. You can use as many from files options while creating the generic file secret. This in this still is creating the generic, and the my secret is the name of the secret, a generic secret with the my secret name, and this is creating from the literal, not from the file, not from the directory, but literal. So now because the my secret has to have key value pair and you are passing literal, so this is key one and this is the value of this key one, this is key two, this is value of this key two. Both of these key value pairs will be stored inside the my secret secret. Create a new secret, name my secret using a combination of file and a literal. So you can use you can use from a file. You can create my secret whose content can come from a file. One key value pair is coming from here, another is coming from here. You can create a new secret, name my secret from env files, like in ConfigMap, of course. So you can create a secret and from the env file. And so you can give multiple env files options also. So you can see this command and you can take help of this command and see these options yourself also. So what we are doing is we're going to create generic secrets from literals. So and what we'll do is we'll create the secrets and we'll pass the secrets to our Spring Boot application, and we'll see Spring Boot application has taken those secrets. So we'll be creating secrets from Kubernetes, and we'll be seeing mechanism that these secrets are injected into the Spring Boot application. I think I opened the Spring Boot application. So so this is what we'll do. kubectl create secret generic, and my secrets only I'm using. From literal, this is the key, this is the value. Again from literal, this is the key and this is the value. So let's try to create that. Okay, close this. And the reason I am, so let me open this Spring Boot application we'll be using. I want to check one more thing here is application properties. So I'll explain the flow, how this goes into a Spring Boot application. So let's create the secret. kubectl create secret generic. kubectl create secret generic, and then hyphen from little. And by the way, if you are watching this video, please try all of these commands yourself. Watching will give you some information, but when you try yourself, you learn more. Make mistake, look into the documentation of command, watch this video again. That way you will learn more and remember for a longer time. So this is the key and this is the value. dbpw is equal to the password, right? Remember there are two equal signs here from literal. Okay? From literal equal to ESW ORD. Then again from literal equal to, and what's the key? Client secret. Client secret equal to the client password. Okay. Maybe I misspelled literal somewhere, which is here. Okay. What is exactly one name is required? Okay, I have not given the name to the secret. Sorry. See here, you have to give the name. After generic, you have to give the name, which I had not given it. So I will say my secret. Same name. You can give any name. Actually, I should have used different name, but I use my secret only. And you can describe this. kubectl describe DSL IV secret, my secret. So you can see this is my secret. It has this key, another key. The value it is not showing here. Now what we are going to do is, you can see this value using hyphen in the YAML format also. Let's see hyphen O YAML. Not describe, it should be get. Yes, get. So this is, if you can generate secret, using the YAML file also, this is a type of YAML file you use. But because the secrets are already created, we got the YAML file from Kubernetes. So it's, this is the key, this is the first key, this is the value, and this is not the plain text value. This is another key, this is another value. And again, this is another plain text value. So now what we'll do is how to use this secret in the Spring Boot app. This is the flow which I am using. I will give you one option. You can try it out yourself if this works or not. See, this we have already done. So this is the create secret. We did using kubectl. K should be smaller here. Kubectl create secret. This is the command we just ran. Now we'll be creating a pod which will be referencing. This is on slide 57 now. So which will be referencing these secrets. In the pod, you will have a section called env. And this environment variable will be created with this name, and the value of this environment variable will come from this secret called my secret. And the DB in this secret, the key dbpw, this keys value in the my secret object will be populated as db_password value. So in reality, you will have db. When this all is done, you will have an environment with db_password name and the value, which is dpw. The value will be the password. So same thing I will be using. This is something below also. And now which here something below will be using I think this key and this value. So you will see, I will show you that here as I will show you the pod YAML. Now what will happen is, so secret we created from pod, got this secret from this from the secret object and populated in its environment section, which will be created as environment variables at the pod. Now in the application.properties, I have given db_password as this $dbpw, which is the which is the same name. I think this will not be used. this DB underscore password, because this is the environment variable we are creating. So sorry, you can ignore this. This is the environment variable DB underscore password we are creating from the pod, and will get injected here. And this is the, below I will show you, we are creating client underscore secret in the pod itself as an environment variable. Spring Boot will inject that into this variable. These variables appear in the controller. So let me show you that. My mistake, I should not have mentioned this. So please ignore this part. So let's see this controller. Where is this? So this is the DB password and this is the client secret. So DB underscore password and the client secret is client underscore secret. This after colon in the Spring Boot application, if you are saying this value will be this variable will populate the value from this environment variable. But if this environment variable is not defined, then the default value will be this for this variable, and this default value will be for this variable if client secret environment variable is not defined in this client secret scenario. So what we are going to do is this I just explained you, and we are getting this value from the info. So if you see DB password and the client secret, how will you validate it has been properly populated? Generally, you should never do this in production because client secret and client DB password or any secret or any password should not be exposed via REST endpoint. They should be used in the application while connecting to the servers or connecting to to any external system. But just for our testing, we have this info context, and we'll be getting this DB password and client secret just to validate whatever VSL is properly set. Never ever try this in your dev also, in your local also. This is just to make the concept clear. Whenever you're testing in local for your application, don't do this. I'm warning this, don't do this, because sometime or other you will forget it and it will go to production and then hell will break loose. Your system will get compromised. So just a severe warning. This is just, I am doing it to prove to you that I am able to populate the password and client secret using the kubectl secret object. Once you can write this separate code to validate this yourself, but in any of your application, don't expose secret or password using the REST endpoint or any other mechanism. No one else should be knowing that. As we saw, the secret, etc. The Kubernetes secrets are stored in the memory only. They never write it. So this is I'm doing to prove a point. I should have used this to connect to a database or connect to a some OAuth to a server or something. But since I didn't want to do that elaborate arrangement, so I just took a shortcut, being lazy, to prove you that. But as I mentioned, never ever do this. If you ever do this in your dev testing also, take it from me, your system will get compromised. You will forget sometime or that will go to production, or in the non-production environment also, if you get compromised there, it's a serious issue. So please never try this. Okay. Now what we are going to do is, this is our YAML file, cat secret little inject in Spring Boot. Let's see that. Cat K8 secret, create secrets, little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this environment. So this is a pod, and this is the name of the pod. Sorry, this is the name of the pod. I'm sorry. It's using this image, and it's creating this environment variable. It's taking the value of this environment variable from my secret, dbw key from my secret object. It's creating another environment variable whose value is getting taken from the client secret key of my secret object, and we just created that. These two, we just created that. If you see from literal we issued, this is the command we used. Correct. Remember the password for dbw and the client secret, the client password. Right. So we'll validate if these are going into the Spring Boot application or not. So let's do one thing. Let's create a pod. kubectl create -f. So pod got created. So this is what we do. Now we'll use the local info object. So we can log in inside that. Now we could have used port forwarding here. I think I'm using the port forwarding, or I can, just to be, just being lazy here, I can log into this kubectl exec because I will be logging in, so I have to give interactive mode, the code name, and I want to run the bash. Okay, sorry, my mistake. kubectl, I have to get the right code name. This is the code. It's not running. Hold on a second. Why it's not running? Did I? Because seems like the image name is wrong. Oh, no, image name is here. Image name. Let's see why it's not running. kubectl describe code. Okay. It's saying my secret's not found. What did I create? It's my secret or my secrets. What see here in the pod, let's see what we created and we check in the pod we have given my secrets. And what did we create? We create my secret. So I have to change the pod definition was wrong. So let's see, first delete this pod. kubectl delete. I deleted that. Now I will check the, I will use VIM editor and it should be my secret, not my secrets. Whatever secret name I have given, I should be using the same here. Okay, now it will work. So let's create one more time. Create. Let's check the pods. Now it's running fine. So now we can log in. exec, where is that? Secrets injected bash. So we logged in inside this. Now we'll use it in wget, the localhost info. So wget localhost 8080 spring boot transform 800 and say info. So wget is not there. I can use curl. Come on. Okay, so this is the the password we had set and the client password. This is a DB password. If you see info, I'm passing the DB password, and DB password default value was default DB PW, which is not the which is not as this. This is the value which has been taken from what the secret object which we had created from literal. Remember, I showed you this one, the password, right? So this the password is what appears here, and the info2 is a client secret. This is a client secret which is taking the client underscore secret environment variable value, and this client underscore secret value which we had created was the client password. So now you see the client password here. So Spring Boot is able to inject this. Now, how did we? I'll just reiterate. How did we do this? We did this by creating a secret object. From literal we did, but you could very well create from file directory or from EME file. Then we created a pod. In the pod we created so you can see this pod. Instead of me explaining, I can show you the pod here. So in the pod I created an environment section. Use the environment section. There I created an environment variable called db underscore password, whose value is taken from the my secret. It should be plural, singular. So my secret object, the key dbw key of my secret object, the value of that is getting populated as the value of this environment variable. Same is the case with client secret. And Spring Boot, if you set an environment variable and you do this in the Spring Boot application, Spring Boot will automatically inject the value into this variable. And we validate it by getting the info, and we saw that it's there. Again, as a caution, never ever do this. No password or secret should be exposed via any REST endpoint. We shouldn't even log it. No, the password or secret must never be logged. It should be just used, taken from memory, used it to connect to the to the external systems, for example, and and then that's it. Don't log it. Don't expose it anywhere. So coming back, I think what we'll do is, so you can create from the generic file also. I think we'll cover only this topic more, and then we'll call it a day. Let me put in the slideshow. So there is a file which I created, secrets, and it's called db secret. Let me go there. Let me exit out of this. Then cat secrets and db secret. This is a db password value. I have created this in a file. So I can create this in a kubectl from file also. And we'll see how, and this is the name, the secret, generic secret. And this is the name of the secret from one file. And this is the from file name, I'm giving the file name here. So let's run that command, kubectl create secret generic, kubectl create secret generic. Then secret from one file. This is the name. You can give any name. One file. Then --- form -file. And you can give secrets. C, then db secret. Let's see, this got created. And you can describe the secret. Describe kubectl describe secret. Kubectl describe and this you can see, it has the data db secret. It is not showing the value here. And there are various other options. Let's discuss this during the next session. So thanks for watching this video. Do practice whatever I explained here. Do like the video. Tell me how it is by through your comments. And again, the caution: never expose your secrets, the passwords, the certificates, or any such things via any restaurant points. Never log this. Thank you very much for watching. Let's meet in the next session.